views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Welcome to Animated Life with the Made in New York Animation Project. In this series, we spotlight short films created by young people from the Bronx who have come together to share their experiences and creativity with the world through storytelling and animation. Stay tuned at the end of the episode for more about TAP and how to get involved. Animated Life with TAP is rated PG. The stories you are about to see are made by real people inspired by real life experiences. We would like to acknowledge that violence is sometimes a part of people's lived experiences. Some of the animations featured may explore complex topics and themes. Without further ado, let's get into today's show.
Hello, lovely people. I'm Sanjona Arzan, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm the production coordinator at the Animation Project.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melly Holdit. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I'm the media and design coordinator at the Animation Project. We're your hosts for today's episode of Animated Life with TAP, and we are thrilled to be here with you to view these animations.
Before we watch the awesome animations today, we're gonna do an opening ritual. Right now, we're gonna look outside and we're gonna look at the weather. We're gonna look at the sky. What is the weather like? And what is the weather making you feel today? Where I am right now, it's really, really cold and freezing. And a week ago, I was exhausted by the cold, the muddy road, the piles of snow, and the early sunsets. I didn't want to go out at all, but I wanted to change that. So, with a positive mindset, I looked outside my window. And this time, I saw a group of children playing with snow, making snowmen. And I saw flakes of snow flying around, and I saw beautiful patterns of frost on glass. And whenever I'm feeling down, I love to look outside and check out the weather. I pick out the positive aspects of the weather. For example, blue sky from summer, and then water droplets on window shields from rainy days of spring, the fiery trees of autumn, and the sparkling snow of winter. Okay, let's take a look at the window for a second time. What fascinating details did you find this time? I hope you found something in the weather today that brought you delight.
In today's episode, we'll be analyzing some of the themes that may arise in the genre of horror.
Melly, before you proceed, are these animations scary?
Scary. Don't worry, these animations are family friendly. Me personally, I think the consequences that some of the characters undergo are actually scarier. Regardless of the medium or genre, it has always been pretty common for storytellers to incorporate life lessons into their work. The animations we'll be screening today showcase the themes of being humble and respecting others, whether that's respecting their privacy, concerns, or feelings.
Wow, I can't wait to get started.
Can't wait, me either, so let's begin. Our first animation, Room 203, was made by TAP creators from the John B. Lindsay Wildcat Academy in 2017. Let us watch them meet back on the other side.
You see my love and his trash. It was stop it tonight.
Something bad's gonna happen. I had a dream we all gonna die.
You sound stupid. What?
Guys, I'm serious.
Oh my god. You hear him?
I like how this animation uses dreams as a device for the audience to understand the protagonist's intuition. Often our fears and concerns, as well as ambitions, lie deep in our thoughts. I'm Caribbean, and in my culture, dreams have a lot of significance. Many believe that a specific dream has a certain meaning. In this case, the protagonist's dreams were cut clear, but do you think there was a deeper meaning behind his dream? I feel like Room 203 is a reminder for us all to think about the feelings of others before we make judgments. We don't know what's going on in their minds or why it may cause them to have certain fears.
I totally agree with you, Millie. And I also wanted to look at how the animators use the environment to create the scare factor. So the story takes place at night in a thunderstorm. What environment do you imagine to amp up a scary story? For me, thunderstorms are a must. Another thing I notice is the camera cuts off abruptly at the end, and that makes me wonder what might have happened next. If you felt a bit of suspense, we are on the same boat.
Look, I'm on the same boat with you. I felt that suspense right here. The next animation is Race of the Curse, made by TAP creators from Mont Haven High School in 2019.
Several years ago, Miss Rivera was the ultimate race car champion of the desert. She was a humble and confident woman. Miss Rivera won every race until she encountered Jordan Cox. Jordan Cox not only beat Miss Rivera in the desert title, but he rudely and cockily held his victory over her head. Anger over Cox's lack of humility consumed Miss Rivera in a blind rage. Miss Rivera accidentally touched an old book of black magic, turning her into a witch trapped between the living and the dead. Today, Miss Rivera continues to haunt her house in the desert, yearning for vengeance against the Cox family and the cockily behavior they represent.
Man, no one ever beats me. I'm number one.
Hey, Mom. Yeah.
People aren't always going to be there for you. That's why you have to handle things on your own.
You obey all the rules you best perform. That's right, losers. I won. In your face. Who's number one? I'm number one. Cock for the win.
You rock, bro. I know you were doing. Let's go drink some beer and celebrate. Yeah.
It's not about winning, you guys. We all did well during the race.
I agree with y'all, Ming. Nice race, everybody.
Whatever. Let's just go to party.
What are we doing in this creepy house anyway?
I don't know, to be honest. I just heard there was a party, so I'ma just party. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay then, I'm gonna look around.
Yeah, man. I knew you were gonna dust them, man. They wasn't ready for that. You threw them out once we started. I just knew the engine you had, the way your car was built,
Yeah,
you gonna
bro.
win, man. You dusted
They
them.
was never ready for me, man. The way I was making them turns, all of them was some whack races. I was too
Left
nice
them in
for
the
them.
dust. But anyway, let's get back to this party, man. This is very good.
Facts.
This animation feels like Fast and the Furious 7 took a scary turn. Jeremy's victory of winning the race ends up becoming short-lived as his arrogance to his peers results in bad karma. I like how the film, like many horror movies, uses visual elements like color and weather to demonstrate one's rise and downfall. When Jeremy defeats his competitors, the sky is sunny, but when he enters the creepy building, everything turns stormy. What do you think about the ending? Was he trapped in the wall? Did he become a portrait? Is there a deeper meaning behind this closing scene? Tangela, what do you think?
I think these are very important questions, Millie. But I also wonder if the setup of the house with the toned down color and gray walls is intentional. If it is, the animators know how to scare the audience. One connection I've made with animations 1 and animation 2 is the thunderstorm. Have you seen any similarities? During the party at the house, one character says aloud, "creepy house," and I have to say, I agree with her.
I definitely wouldn't want to be in that house.
Our next animation is called The So-Called Haunted House, made by Tab Creatives in collaboration with New York City Department of Probation in 2012. Let us watch together.
The so-called haunted house. Yo, you ever heard about that house that they was talking about up the hill? You know that so-called haunted house?
Yeah, I heard about it. Wow.
We go check that out for a little bit, see if it's really haunted or something?
Let's go.
Let's go, yeah. Do you see them dogs over there?
Yeah, they're not scared.
Oh yeah? What if they try to bite your legs off? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna kick their mom.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. They didn't do nothing. It's like they wanted to go in the house. Hurry up.
Let's go.
Yeah, what kind of coffee that? It looks like something like a vampire about to pop out of it or something.
Nah, it's not scared.
Dracula or something.
Just somebody know
It's like a fight. Yeah.
not scared.
You hear that from downstairs? What is that?
Yeah, something. Beat a beat.
I'm coming out of his bed. Let's go up there. See, that's it. Came out for a reason, right?
Just a mirror. Not scared.
Big move. I'm gonna just stay here and look myself for a little bit. Okay? Alright, come on, there's nothing there. Go back upstairs and go more upstairs.
Oh, funeral. That's flower. Not scary. That's probably fake.
Oh yeah, sorry. Forget about this. Let's go to the other room. That looks more exciting. It says welcome to the and what the hell?
Maybe we can through that door.
Oh, yeah. No, it says that end, so that's the end of the little house little set. You in the classroom, we out there.
Oh, skeleton.
This is a drawing. What is wrong with you? How you getting scared? Come on.
No, it's coming out the people. Run! Run! Ah!
I got goosebumps watching this animation. Do you know what stood out to me? It's the camera movement. It's similar to virtual reality, where it pulls the audience into another world as if they were the main character in the middle of action. Also, did you feel you were the main character while exploring the haunted house? Another thing that stood out to me was the tunnel vision created by the torchlight. While the protagonist was exploring the haunted house, he didn't know what might pop up from the sides. This is yet another genius effect added by the animators. Also, I cannot forget to mention the middle of the night thunderstorm.
Yeah, I agree with you. I found it so cool how the camera movements allow us to be in the perspective of the characters. The dolly shots in the animation were personally my favorite.
Hmm. So, what is a dolly shot, Millie?
Dolly shots are when the camera zooms in and out in film and animation. But I wanted to ask you, Sanjono, what do you think about the characters and what they were actually afraid of? To me, it looked like the drawing and that other things didn't seem to phase them. But what do you think?
I think it is open to tons of interpretations, and that's the beauty of art. It's subjective. Audience at home, please let us know what you think at TAP's social media page at the Animation Project. Our final animation is called Possessed, made by TAP Youth Creatives from Mott Haven High School in 2019.
Once upon a time, there was a boy from Brownsville. It was the most haunted place in the hill. The whisper you could hear, and the birds gave you chill. All of the sudden things singing unreal. This horror animation was so fun to watch. It's definitely not the conventional way of getting possessed, and I can tell that by the freestyle dancing. Yeah, I see you there, Millie. This time I want to ask you, what made the animation a horror animation? I think it's the jump scare used twice, the first one in the window and the second one behind the protagonist. This scare tactic has been used heavily in horror movies to the point where we can tell an around the corner shot is a segue to a jump scare, and therefore we remain seated on our couch. Other than jump scares, can you think about a new horror tactic? If so, take notes because we need all your ideas to enrich our horror genre.
I actually did think of a tactic that I noticed. It was the way the creators were playing with who the actual antagonist was of the animation. Like, did you expect the human character to pop up behind the protagonist, or did you expect the creature? And were they just the same character? And what would that creature even symbolize if they are the same character, you know?
I think that's a lot to think about, Melly. But one thing that stood out to me was the message at the end of the animation that said, mind your business. And I think it's a reminder of respecting each other's privacy. And if we don't respect each other's privacy, we might get possessed.
This was such an exciting yet suspenseful episode. The genre of horror is such a creative way to incorporate life lessons into the art of animation and filmmaking. The cinematic techniques used for these animations, such as frequent camera pans and dolly shots, help the audience to get into the perspective of the characters. The shift from luminous to dark lighting adds to the suspense of the situations that the characters go through as well. These cinematic techniques also help the audience to understand the karma that will subsequently happen when the characters make the wrong decisions, like downplaying the feelings of others or bragging about their accomplishments. Although these scenarios may be sometimes dramatized, that's the beauty of the genre of horror. These animations are visual means to illustrate the fears and the concerns humans will have. What would you take away from this episode? I'm taking away that the signs I see in my dreams are there to guide me when I get up and I face a room of those who may doubt me. My intuition may not always be right, but what matters is that I followed it. That there's no ultimate win if you're racing to compete for the means of approval or self-absorption versus success. Sometimes we downplay what really frightens us inside to seem brave, but sometimes it's even braver to acknowledge that you're a human. It's okay to be afraid. Humans are curious by nature, but not everything is meant for our eyes to see. We're not omniscient beings. We don't know everything, but we know ourselves. And we must remind ourselves that one must be mindful of others' space, of others' feelings, as well as our own.
It's time for our closing ritual. Today, I want you to think about one good thing that you have done in the past couple of weeks or you want to do in the future. Think about the good deed. What did it make you feel? And what did the person who received your good vibrations feel? From that single point of good deed, we're going to spread out. So write down what other things you can do to brighten your day or bring some sunshine into someone else's life. It can be something like making a warm cup of tea or writing a miss you note. It can be knitting a warm sweater or giving a simple compliment. It was very wholesome analyzing all these animations and getting to spend time with you. I hope to see all of you in our next episode.
Many thanks to today's host and to the young creatives who made the short films we saw today. This might be your first time hearing about the Made in New York animation project, so we'd like to share more about who we are with you. The Made in New York Animation Project, or TAP, is a nonprofit therapeutic workforce development program. We are a one-stop shop for storytelling, industry and professional training, and personal transformation. TAP develops New York City youth for the local animation industry through software training and personal and professional development. At TAP, we combine creative arts therapy with the animation pipeline. We offer a variety of programs for participants ages 12 through 24. For more information about our programming, check out our website, www.theanimationproject.org, and follow our social media accounts displayed on the screen. We invite you to watch one more video that showcases who we are and what we do at the Made in New York Animation Project.
TAP has been a guiding light for me when things were getting difficult, not only during the COVID epidemic, but long before.
As animators and visual storytellers, we're able to create something that brightens someone's day or make something that's really productive and, do something that really shows our talent and our growth.
Even through the darkest times, that creativity and passion can pretty much shine through.
I attend TAP virtual groups because not only do I get to learn about animation, but I also get to have a community.
Such an overwhelming sense of support and sense of community.
I attend virtual TAP groups to be able to express my creativity.
That's what I do. It's lit. Chillin'. Facts.
I am so grateful for TAP's flexibility, as well as them for providing us tools to excel.
So that's why, I come to the virtual group, because I find it inspiring.
Thanks again for joining us for Animated Life with TAP. Please stay connected by visiting our website, www.theanimationproject.org, and following our social media accounts. Until next time, Bronx viewers, stay animated.